Oshkosh Media is government programming on GovTV, community programming on Life TV, and community radio on Oshkosh FM 101.9.
Welcome to the City Manager's Report, a look at city updates and a preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda.
And thanks for joining us for the City Manager's Report. I'm Andy Radig, and in a moment we'll be joined by Assistant City Manager John Fitzpatrick. In the first portion of today's show, we'll have some municipal news to share, including updates from city departments and things happening around Oshkosh. In the second half, we'll highlight items from the upcoming Tuesday, September 23rd Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda. And with that, we bring in our Assistant City Manager, John Fitzpatrick. John, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right. Well, we have a lot of material to talk about today, and we're starting off with a little update about our road construction that's going on around the city. There's quite a bit of work going on, and we thought we would maybe just highlight some of those various projects.
Right. Absolutely.
And give a status update. So we'll start off kind of Central City at Central Street, actually, and that is Central Street from West New York Avenue to West Bent Avenue.
Right. It's my understanding that crews are working on the road grading right now, electrical, and I think, we'll keep our fingers crossed with the good weather continuing. Paving will take place at the end of September, early October.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, we can see there, and I know that the school district is also working on the athletic track there over by Val Phillips.
It's quite a transformation, isn't it, for people that haven't, been over in that area. I think it's
right.
And old timers that remember how it looked before. I think it's really going to be a nice improvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a major update there. So.
Absolutely.
So that will be good to have that one all completed over at Central Street. And then kind of on the western or southwestern side of town, we have Lark Street, Faust Avenue, and National Avenue. There's a water main being put in over there.
Right, I think there's a water lateral relay as well.
Okay.
It's going to be going in there, and it also includes, I believe, the reconstruction of segments of the concrete streets in that area, and the paving is underway on Lark. I believe crews are currently working on the water main on Faust, and National Ave will see the water main work starting hopefully in about 1 to 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and we can see here that that is very fresh concrete. They are actually laying it as the video was shot there.
Right.
So
yeah.
So we're seeing what's going on there. Our Oshkosh media crew is out getting this latest drone video. So
right, the drone video I think really gives a different perspective of everything. You can just kind of see comprehensively all the parts of the process, which for people that don't know, it can be complex.
Right. Yeah, and you really get literally a bird's eye view of it so that you can see the scope of the project.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many times we have people that, they're certainly inconvenienced when we're doing their street.
Right.
But they're very excited to get this new street, not only the new street, but all the infrastructure as well.
Right. Yeah. It's not always just the paving. There's a lot that happens underneath the pavement, with all the sewer and stormwater, everything else.
Right.
So, well, now, John, we'll make our way over to Wagoo Avenue, over to the far east side of the city. And this is a section of Wagoo Avenue that was not completed last year. So this is from Bowen Street to Lake Winnebago.
Right. I think this is a little catch-up from last year. And this project consists of concrete pavement construction and sidewalk on Wagoo, along with storm sewer, sanitary sewer, water main relay, electrical work, in addition to the water main relay. And I think crews are finishing the sewer work this week. They're beginning the road grading, and electrical work is expected to take place this week or next week, followed by paving.
Yeah, it looks like you can see there it's pretty much getting graded and getting prepared for the paving process. So that one is definitely in the works there as well.
Right. We were talking just recently about how people are excited to have the new streets go in. And it's amazing to notice too that when the new street is in there, people just feel, I don't know, energized and want to maybe do more with their homes and landscaping.
Yeah.
And so it's really I think an ignition point for people to take pride in their neighborhoods. So
Yeah.
we're happy to see that.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. You have a brand new street, and that makes you think, well, let's do some upgrades in our front yard.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, for sure. Well, and then not too far away from Wagoo Avenue is Bayshore Drive, and we have some work going on over there. Again, just kind of a mix of different things that are happening.
Right. And for people that know where Bayshore Drive is, there's a lot of beautiful homes there, and it's a very scenic area. And you're right, pavement, sidewalk on Bayshore Drive and Bay Street, along with storm sewer, sanitary sewer, water main relay. And I think the main line paving is complete, and they're currently finishing intersection paving, and sidewalk work is expected to begin this week or next, followed by the final landscaping. And that, the way I just described it, is how oftentimes the pavement process works, but
Yeah.
it can be a little bit different depending upon what's underneath the pavement too, and what needs to be done. But typically that's kind of the sequence of events.
Sure. Yeah, and like you mentioned, the intersections, there can be different variables with intersections.
Right.
And
It
all
takes
that
a little
sort
more
of thing.
time because they have to do all the curbing and
Yeah.
all that traffic signalization might be part of it. And so yeah, they try to do those intersections at a little bit later in the process.
Yeah. Well,
Typically.
that certainly looks like a nice upgrade from what it was there.
Yeah,
I think it used to be pretty
right.
bumpy, so it's,
Yeah, it was pretty bumpy. Yep.
it's pretty nice. So then we can move over to the south side of Oshkosh, Michigan Street and West 11th Avenue. And again, we kind of have a variety of things that are going on there. I know that especially there's been some work with water main and that sort of thing.
Right. In addition to the concrete pavement, there's sidewalk on Michigan Street and West 11th Ave, along with storm sewer, sanitary sewer, and water main relay. And more specifically on 9th Ave and Michigan Street, the intersection, we're hopeful that can open this week. And crews are continuing installation of, we have a large box culvert storm sewer from
Yeah.
10th to 11th there. So that's challenging to get that part completed. And then they're also working on water main at Ohio and 11th Ave intersection. So
Okay.
a lot of work to be done there, but a lot of progress has already been made.
Sure. Yeah, and that box culvert storm sewer, we work on flood relief in many different ways, and that's another way to transport that water when there's a large storm event.
Absolutely. People may not realize that, we have, because the community's been here for so long, a lot of our infrastructure is old. And to provide relief to the potential for flooding and backups, having those large box culverts in place, when we can make that work, when it makes sense with the system, it's very, very, very huge improvement.
Right.
So,
I know our public works folks have a lot of research that they do on all of that and try to make the most cost-effective and most effective outcome when they do these projects.
right. We're fortunate. We have a lot of people who are very skilled in stormwater management, and it's come over time. We've
Yeah.
had to learn a little bit the hard way.
Yeah.
But I think as a result of that, we've become very knowledgeable, and I think been able to improve the community in such a manner where people can live here, enjoy the fact that we're in such close proximity to water,
Right.
but not have to worry about the flooding quite as much as we had in the past.
It's come a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we wanted to remind folks that you can subscribe to learn more about all of these city projects and other things. There's a list of all the construction project email subscription lists that you can subscribe to. It's on the Department of Public Works website. So if you just visit Public Works online on the city's website, You can also visit the current construction updates and traffic restrictions page. So that link is available also through Hot Topics. So you can learn a lot more about what's going on currently, all the things that we just talked about here, and then everything else that's going on. You can learn a lot more about it, and you can subscribe if you would like specific updates on a certain project. So we encourage you to do that. Okay, John, recently some notices of changed assessment were sent out, and we have a little bit more information about that topic and just a little bit of background.
Sure. For folks that might have been tuned in regard to assessments this past year, that process needs to take place periodically when we reach a certain threshold, which it did this past cycle. And one of the things that's part of that process, that's part of the state of Wisconsin requirement, is our assessments need to match a state threshold. So because there was a different number that we came up with versus what the state required, there were additional assessments that needed to be done this year.
Sure.
And that's what you're describing.
Okay. And so there were a total of 3,021 notices that were sent out. So it's not like they went out to everybody.
Right.
It was just the folks that were affected by a change.
Yes.
And
Yep. And it's my understanding that there were right around 2,000 commercial notices and about 1,000 residential property notices approximately.
Sure. Yeah, so for those folks that own a residential property, oftentimes I've seen some questions on social media about why didn't I receive my notice? Well, there were not that many sent out to residences as opposed to the commercial properties this time.
Right.
So there was a little bit of a change for the commercial properties as far as the average increase.
Right. It was approximately 22% for the commercial folks, and the average increase for the residential properties was very small. I think it was less than 1%.
Okay. Yeah. So the average increase across everything was just a little over 7%.
Right.
Basically.
Right. And I think you mentioned it before, but for people that may not have understood it, if a property owner did not receive a notice, then their assessed value did not change from the previous year.
Okay. All right. So just to calm people up with that,
Sure.
just the fact that if they didn't receive something, it wasn't a mistake. It was just
Right.
that they didn't have a change.
No, and we understand that people want to try to plan for the future. So it's a very important document that they're maybe anticipating.
Yeah.
So we just thought it would be helpful to try to clarify that for everybody.
Okay. All right. Thanks for that update.
Sure.
Well, we have a good update here. This is 2025 economic development statistics from the state of Wisconsin, and they're very favorable for the city of Oshkosh. Talking about things like net new construction in the city.
Right, exactly. And I think it's a good segue. We're talking about our tax increases and what assessed values might generate, what tax people might pay, property tax people might pay. But the other thing that's very important as a revenue source for the city of Oshkosh is economic development, because the more development we can establish, the broader the tax base can be.
Yes.
And when the tax base is broader and there's more development, then it mitigates the pressure that, for example, one segment like residential property owners are going to have to bear. So it's always exciting when we have economic development. It's a very important focus for everybody certainly that works here to support those initiatives.
Yeah.
And also there's some constraints associated with how much our budget can increase that the state of Wisconsin places on us. And one of those indicators is net new construction that you mentioned.
Yeah, and so really across northeast Wisconsin communities. So we're not talking the entire state here,
Right.
but at least our quadrant of the state, Oshkosh recorded the second highest totals on new industrial construction during the past year with $8.5 million worth of investment.
Right.
And so that trails a little bit behind Green Bay, which led at 21 million.
Right.
But Appleton was 4.4 million. So Oshkosh did very well with that 8.5 million.
Right. And it looked like we just saw some video of some of the things that we've been talking about. I know you and City Manager Grill have been talking about on the program.
Right.
The new hospital, the new mill on Main. I mean, all those things are tremendous increases. Some of the housing developments, I think that some of the ones that have been shown have been the corridor, and it looks like the Boatworks property. And I think people are also familiar with a lot of the development on Oshkosh Ave that occurred.
Right.
As a result
continues,
and continues to occur as a result of Oshkosh Corporation establishing their headquarters there. So
Right.
we're making progress. I think we certainly, have a ways to go, but I think all these things that we're discussing are really helpful.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of that development on Oshkosh Avenue. A lot of that is commercial construction, and Oshkosh comes in with a strong third in the region with 42 million of development in the past year, and that does trail behind Green Bay. They had just about 74 million in new commercial construction, and Appleton had 58 million.
Right.
So Oshkosh is not too bad at $42 million.
No, it can always be better, but we're grateful that developers see Oshkosh as a place that's very desirable and they want to be here.
Yeah, right. So really, it's $82 million in new construction overall for the past year. So that's really great.
That is great, and we just have to keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep working on that. So we also wanted to point out that we have some new surveys that are coming available for residents very soon. They're not available as of this recording today, but they will be posted very soon, and folks should be looking for them. We have the first one is on ATV and UTVs in Oshkosh.
Right. This survey is really designed to try to get an idea of how the citizens feel about the potential use of those vehicles on our roadways, and impacts on sidewalks and bike paths too. So
yeah,
please provide your feelings on that, and I think that information will help guide the decision makers, not only the transportation committee but also the city council, as to whether or not that's something we want to explore further.
Right. And I know that the development of that survey is that it's not a very lengthy survey, so it's fairly quick to take it.
Right.
And there are opportunities for you to provide your comments and thoughts in addition to answering some questions about your preferences.
Right, and we know everybody's very busy, but as you mentioned, it's very brief, and I know later on in the show we're going to talk about how much we value citizen input, and it's really important to try to let your thoughts be known. That information is extremely helpful to not only the people on the boards and commissions, but also the city council members.
Absolutely. Yeah. The other survey that will be posted very soon is on Lakeshore Drive, and if folks are not familiar, Lakeshore Drive is that road that lies just to the east of the water filtration plant adjacent to Menominee Park.
Right, I'm glad you described it. It looks like we have a graphic there too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's if you've been in the area of the Menominee Park, the zoo, the beach, it's just south of that location there, and the building rendering there, I think, is our water filtration plant that we have.
Right, and the proposed Clearwells structure as well.
Right.
So that's all part of this. But trying to take a look at some different options for the landscaping and the road design that will be placed there. So definitely looking for citizen input on that.
Right. I mean, although we We have that water filtration plant there because we utilize the water from Lake Winnebago for our drinking water. We want to make sure that it's still attractive. It is the lake shore.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people that are there utilizing, as we mentioned, the beach, the zoo, the park in general. And a lot of people like to just traverse the area along the waterways. So
right.
we want to make sure that when we make those modifications that people feel comfortable with it and they've had an opportunity to share their ideas with us.
Right. And Oshkosh is very blessed to have an area like that, that beautiful landscape and a park right there. So that's why this survey is very important, because we want people's input on the best way to utilize that prime real estate.
It is, yeah, and we are very blessed to be there. I don't live too far away from that location, and my wife and I always talk about how fortunate we are to live here in Oshkosh, and especially in that area.
Yeah, absolutely. When those surveys are available online, they will be posted in the Hot Topics section of the city's website. So you can look for them there, as well as the Polco service that Oshkosh utilizes. You can go to that website as well and find the surveys there. But we encourage you to be watchful for those, and please take them. Also watch the city's social media. There'll be links to those as well posted on social media. So, John, another little shift in gears here. We want to make a note that the Oshkosh Public Library has a lot going on, including some kind of wild things happening soon.
Right. We were just talking about the zoo, and they're going to be visiting, zoo animals are going to be visiting the public library on September 26th. So we have departments that collaborate all the time, and we're happy to have the library and the Parks Department collaborate on this opportunity to bring these animals to the library. It's a hands-on experience for kids and families. They'll get the chance to meet some of the zoo's feathered and furry residents up close for this live animal event, and I believe zoo staff will introduce each animal, share some facts about their unique characteristics, their habitats and behaviors. And we're hoping that everybody will have a really great experience.
Yeah, so please save the date. That's Friday, September 26th from 10 to 11 a.m. at the public library.
Right.
So,
families, kids, grandkids, it's all good.
Yeah, for sure. Also at the library, folks can discover the story beneath Pratt Trail in Menominee Park. We've talked a little bit about Menominee Park.
Right.
And recently there was some construction there, road reconstruction and discovery of some artifacts and things. And so we have a program coming up at the library to talk about that.
Yes, I think if you have a chance to check it out and you're interested in history, it's just a fascinating, I think, program that you would enjoy. Dr. Seth Schneider, who's an archaeologist and researcher at UW-Milwaukee, their research center will share firsthand insights from the dig site. For people that may not know, we work very closely with the archaeologists at UW-Milwaukee to help us respectfully go through that rebuild. Pratt Trail. We also worked with representatives from the Menominee tribe too, to make sure that we were respectful to any artifacts that we were unearthing. And I thought it was a good experience. It was a cross-departmental initiative too, with Public Works, Parks, Transportation. A whole variety of folks, participated in that, and it's very interesting.
Yeah, so again, that program is called Pratt Trail, A Path to Preserving History and Heritage, and it's free. There's no registration required, and that, again, will be on Wednesday, September 24th, 6:30 p.m. under the dome at the Oshkosh Public Library.
Right.
All right. Well, John, I think we'll just transition here right into the agenda for the upcoming Tuesday, September 23rd, Oshkosh Common Council meeting. And that will be carried live on GovTV, as well as all of the Oshkosh Media live platforms. So taking a look at the agenda for September 23rd, Let's see. We have in our consent agenda, one of those items is renewal of employee health and dental insurance for 2026. What can you
Right.
tell us about that?
Well, we're very fortunate that we aren't going to have any increases to any of those benefit programs that we provide to our employees. And, one of the reasons is because our employees take it very seriously and try to be as healthy as they possibly can. And, to that point, we're also fortunate that the council members, allowed the city for the past decade to develop and utilize an employee clinic that we share with our partners at the county and Oshkosh Area School District. Looks like we have a little video of it right there. And so typically, health insurance is increasing, I think, as we know, at probably an 8% clip almost every year. But for the past decade plus, we've had numerous years where we have had zero increases for our health insurance. And this year it's health insurance and dental insurance. And that's really great, I think, for not only our employees, but also for the taxpayers that support the pay and benefits of our employees. It mitigates some of the costs. So, so we're very proud of the work that our employees are doing, but also we're very grateful that the council took a chance on developing this public sector clinic, which I think is the first one in the state for any municipality, any city. And it's really paid dividends.
It's been innovative for sure.
Yeah, right.
Well, and then as we move along the agenda, our new ordinances, there is an item to remove the requirement that the annual council organizational meeting be held at noon.
Right. There's several things that I know we're going to talk about that are really designed to try to help people be more aware of what's going on. It's been a tradition for us to hold that meeting at noon, but it's sometimes inconvenient for the council members and also for the citizens to tune in or maybe attend. And I know that that's one item that we're going to be working on, as well as eliminating a requirement for 2 readings of ordinances prior to adoption. We work very hard with Oshkosh media, social media, trying to get out information on programs like this, so to make people aware of what's going on. So I think because of that, it was thought that having the 2 readings are no longer necessary, really.
Okay, all right. And backing up just a minute, John, that organizational meeting, that is the meeting that is held immediately after an election when
Correct.
new council members are sworn in.
Right.
Just to clarify that.
Yes, right. And they make rules, they do some basic housekeeping. So yeah, that's exactly what that meeting is for.
Okay. And then we're also looking as a resolution to adopt a 2026 calendar of council meetings.
Right. So in conjunction with what we just talked about, that there's a little more awareness as to what's going on. In conjunction with that, I think we typically have not held 2 council meetings every month. I mean, we've canceled those in advance of those meetings. But and credit has to be given to new city manager Rebecca Grill. She said, hey, why don't we just adopt the calendar in advance? Then everybody knows when the council meetings are going to be held.
Yeah.
And if we're not going to have a council meeting, for example, around Christmas time, or maybe during EAA, or maybe during a general election, we can let people know in advance of that. And then we can make sure that we share some of the information on those other agendas so citizens can participate when they're available, rather than when they're out of town during EAA or during the holidays. So I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We also just, in the brief time we have left, John, we just wanted to remind folks that there's some budget workshop meetings coming up, and folks can participate or tune in to learn about those.
Right. There's going to be budget workshops Tuesday, October 14th and 15th, from 4 to 6 p.m. and 5 to 7 p.m. respectively, and the operations budget public hearing is going to be on October 28th at 5 p.m.
Okay, and all of those will be carried live on GovTV and our various streaming platforms. So we encourage folks to tune in and learn about the city budget.
Right.
Okay, well, John, thanks again for your insights today. We appreciate all the information.
Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right, and thank you for joining us today. Again, we appreciate your time. Again, that Common Council meeting is at 6 p.m. this Tuesday, September 23rd. We encourage you to tune in, and please catch us again in 3 weeks for another City Managers Report.